45 bags of human remains were hauled out of a ravine in Mexico. Turns out it's the bodies of 8 missing call center workers who tried to quit their jobs. If you own a timeshare, you might have even spoken to one of them. Let's recap. Welcome to True Crime Recaps. I'm Chris with all the crime in half the time. 6 men and 2 women went missing in Guadalajara, Mexico between May 20th and May 22nd, 2023. They all had something in common besides the fact that they had vanished. All 8 of them worked for the same 2 call centers owned by the same group and located less than a mile away from each other. Call centers are one of the top jobs for 20-somethings who learned English in the United States but are living in Mexico. Of the 8 workers who turned up in garbage bags, all but 3 of them are under 30. Their families thought they were working for a typical employer, the kind with a human resources department and casual Fridays, and annoying bosses who drone on about TPS reports and performance reviews. But in actuality, they worked for a call center run by the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, Mexico's scariest gang. Turns out the cartel's operations have expanded beyond the typical drugs, extortion, and kidnapping they're famous for. These days, gangsters have gotten into the timeshare business. According to the Associated Press, officials confirmed the cartel now operates call centers that scam money from Americans and Canadians through fake offers to buy their timeshares. If you've ever been targeted by a scam like this, their tactics will probably sound familiar. In a 2023 alert, the FBI said sellers were contacted via email by scammers who assured them they had a buyer lined up, but before the deal could go through, you just need to pay taxes or other fees, according to the AP. As you might expect, the second the money came through, the deal vanished, or you're told you need to pay more money for some other reason. This goes on and on until before you know it, you've gone through your life savings on the promise that with the next cash infusion, you'll get it all back plus more. The FBI report said that in 2022, the agency's Internet Crime Complaint Center received over 600 complaints with losses of approximately $39.6 million from victims contacted by scammers regarding timeshares owned in Mexico, according to the AP. It's easy to fall for this type of thing, especially when they're being run by an organization with deep pockets like the cartel. One real estate agent from a firm in Puerto Vallarta told the AP that scammers send their marks fake contracts and official-looking documents from the Mexican tax authority claiming that they have to pay taxes on the prospective sale. You'll know you're being scammed if a company asks you for money up front. Legitimate real estate deals don't do that. The timeshare fraud came to light in April, the AP reported, when the U.S. Treasury Department announced sanctions against the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, saying their deep involvement in timeshare fraud in the Puerto Vallarta area and elsewhere, which often targets elderly U.S. citizens and can defraud victims of their life savings, is an important revenue stream supporting the group's overall criminal enterprise. Yikes. And timeshare owners aren't the only victims. According to one government official, these kids probably decided they wanted out of the business and the cartel dismembered them to send a message to other defectors. They'd all been working there for about 3 months. Their relatives reported them missing when they never came home from the office. One mother said her son and daughter were supposed to leave work at 4 p.m. on May 22nd. At 4:15, their phones powered down and they were never heard from again. A little more than a week later, authorities acting on a tip found 45 plastic bags filled with body parts. Mexico has been dealing with a rash of disappearances lately, with more than 100,000 still missing. Sadly, the whereabouts of the missing call center workers is no longer a mystery. Forensics confirmed the human remains were the missing employees. The State Attorney General's office identified them as 23-year-old Carlos Valladolid, his 27-year-old sister Itzel Valladolid, 28-year-old Jorge Moreno, 29-year-old Mayra Velasquez, 30-year-old Arturo Robles, 31-year-old Carlos Garcia, 34-year-old Juan Antonio, and 37-year-old Jesus Salazar. They were found in a 140-foot ravine about 30 minutes from the office. Because of the thick forest and rocky terrain, getting the 45 bags of remains out of there wasn't easy. Workers struggled to haul the bags away using stretchers and a helicopter. When authorities raided the 2 call centers, they found the usual office call center stuff: hard drives, USB sticks, computers, paperwork about buying and selling timeshares, names of American and Canadian customers, sales goals and membership documents, documents, but they also found something that absolutely should not be in an office. Rags stained red with what they're pretty sure is blood. According to the BBC, the mayor said these call centers are operating illegally and don't have any of the proper business licenses, and police are looking for the man who rents the spaces. This is a developing story, so remember to subscribe to keep up with this and other crimes. And that's your recap.
Thanks for hanging out with us today.
If you like getting all the crime in half the time, go ahead and tap that subscribe button and the bell so you never miss a story.
We're here Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, but don't go away. Catch up on more recaps right here, right now.
Until next time, take care.